look at automating. Automation is very key. Deployment of technology, right, to for tax administration. Are they there? Are they doing it? Yes, but are they there yet? No. The answer is no. There are a lot of room for improvement. Then they need to look at public-private partnerships as well, right? Because out there you find out that to the people outside understand the businesses that are going on, and in order to improve on things and to really impact positively on the business owners, right? Government should look at collaboration. And in terms of again, they need to look at what I call the stakeholders engagement. Government needs to engage these people, and once they engage them, they'll be able to feel their pulse. Then, a lot of times, it is assumed that people know what taxes to pay to government. You'll be amazed if you do a poll today and you ask an average person on the street there, an average business owner, they really don't even understand the types of taxes. So government needs to do a lot of engagement with the taxpayers. So
the taxes, is that complicated, or is that the knowledge not put out there?
Yeah, the knowledge is not put out there. Like I told you, there are taxes that are under the jurisdiction of the federal government, there are taxes that are under the jurisdiction of the state government, and there are taxes that are under the jurisdiction of the local government. You find out that some people will make a statement like, I am not making profit, why should I pay taxes? The mere fact that you're not making profit does not mean you're not going to pay taxes. Okay. What it means that you're not going to pay tax if you're an incorporated entity, it means you're not paying corporate income tax, which is the tax on profit. But that does not preclude you from paying taxes such as value-added tax, or taxes such as withholding tax, because as a business owner, you are an unpaid agent of the government to deduct certain amount of money from certain people that do business with you, and you have to remit such to the government. So in that sense, that tax you are paying is not from you. You have deducted it from the person you have transacted business with, and it is your duty to remit such to the government. So, but a lot of people do not know this.
Well, I am one of those people that did not do this.
Yeah, so with a lot of education and enlightenment, then a lot of people will come to terms with various taxes to be paid.
But are we getting the education and enlightenment?
Government is not doing enough on that. I have to tell you. They are trying to educate people, but they're not doing enough on that. So they can still do better.
There are this policy that government just brought in. One of the parties I'm talking about, that's the introduction of the excise duty taxes from 20 to 100% on alcoholic beverages, tobacco, wine, spirits, grain. What is the grain tax?
When you hear anything grain, it has to do with the environment. Trying to have a clean environment. So you're saying no, they want to reduce the carbon emission, and as such, they want to encourage stuff like electric vehicles, right? So in order to encourage electric vehicles, so they want to tax maybe vehicles that emit carbon monoxide. So to discourage, such and encourage electric vehicles, for example. So, but the truth of the matter is that we get into things that we are not really yet ready for.
Yeah,
so you're here in Nigeria. Most often times when you say, okay, you have manufacturer, most of our manufacturers, what are they using to produce what they're producing? They're using diesel, they burn, all these things here. So, but in as much as it's a good initiative, but government needs to know the right time to really bring this on board into the country. So, and that is part of the fiscal policy measure for 2023. When you look at the green tax on vehicles, then there is this telecommunication tax, which is 5% excise duty on postpaid and prepaid services. So you have the non-alcoholic beverage tax of 10 naira per liter, and the alcoholic beverage tax. And you find out that there's policy inconsistency. Now, the alcoholic beverage tax, if you look at the one they released in 2022, it was supposed to be like a 3-year fixed stuff. And in there, they had already stated the duty there. Now in 2023, they are not come, right? And going against what they had already given before, and even adding the ad valorem tax and increasing the other amount. Now, like what I was telling you in terms of engaging the business owners, when government wants to come up with this kind of policies, don't forget you brought out a policy in 2022 which was supposed to be for like a 3-year period. Businesses have made projections, they have done a whole lot of things, using that. Then midway, then you come and bring another thing. It's not good for businesses. It's going to kill businesses in Nigeria. So, and that is why government needs to do a lot of consultation, right, when they're coming up with this policy. Because some of you find out that it causes a lot of embarrassment. In fact, there are some of policies that they come up with, and you find out that they're not consistent even with the Constitution. Right?
With the Constitution?
Yes, with the Constitution. So you now find a situation where people test this in court, and the next thing, that thing has to be reversed. So there has to be a holistic approach to reviewing our existing tax laws so that, they can now effect the necessary changes so that we don't have most of these policies somersault that we have from government.
All right. If you want to call in, you have questions about your taxes or business taxes, or you just want to understand how businesses are run and the future of businesses in Nigeria, considering all that we've said and what we say, have any questions, the number to call is 0813 331 3172. 0813 331 3172. That's the number to call in case you have questions and everything. All right, so let's go back to the policies that are being brought up. As a practitioner, if you compare Nigeria's tax regime or policies right now for businesses to other nations, maybe developing and developed nations, where do we stand? That is a huge sigh.
When you want to compare us with other developed or developing nations, you want to look at certain things. And number one, you want to look at tax compliance in Nigeria. Tax compliance in Nigeria is very, very low. And why is it low? Because people are not encouraged to pay taxes. Why are they not encouraged to pay taxes? Because
let's see if we can pick this call, and just hold on a bit with your answer. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, this is
Dapo, okay, good morning. Go ahead.
Yes, my question to guest this morning is during all of this, I call some of these policies, bad policies. What is NECA as an association doing to challenge some of these policies for the government? Because they are the one dealing with consumers directly, so they put it that way. Like I rightly said, some of these government policy formulators, they just sit down there. Some of them are not even into any business. They don't know what the final consumer are facing. But the NECA as an association, they are the one. I believe that interact directly with the consumers. So they should be able to challenge government probably by engaging them, probably taking them to court or whatever, to put an end to some of these policies that I refer to as bad policies, as killing policies. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling that. I think he's referring to maybe the other question. What are organizations, umbrella bodies doing?
I take that question. We need to understand something. First of all, I tell you that NECA, even though I'm not in NECA, But I can tell you that NECA is doing a lot, because I see some of the letters they write to government when they see certain things that are not working well. And professional bodies as well, when there are policies that they believe that are going to hurt businesses, they write to government. So that goes back to what I told you initially. Do we need to be reactive? We don't need to be reactive if the government does what they are supposed to do from day one. Now, and what is government supposed to do? If the government engages these businesses, let's assume that the government wants to look at hospitality, you want to formulate a policy on hospitality business. Government needs to engage people in hospitality business. And in engaging people in hospitality business, they will understand a whole lot of things from there before they formulate that policy. And once they formulate that policy, you find out that the policy will be in line with that particular sector, that particular industry, and there will be less. Of course, some people will still complain about one or two things, but there will be less complaints, and there will be no need to react to most of the policy somersaults and policy failures of misgivings of government.
Now, watching a lot of let me just say movies, you see people, or documentaries, you see cases of lobbying, cases of always being in government faces, not waiting for policies to come out, but always, or not waiting for a situation. Even, for instance, if the policy, you mentioned the one, the policy the government brought out last year, that was supposed to run for 3 years. So maybe even before the end of that one, there are already lobbying going on, or things going on, being in government faces to push these issues. Do you think this happens in Nigeria?
Yeah, it does happen. I tell you, for real, that professional bodies, for example, professional bodies have some of these policies that they have reviewed, right? And they write to government to inform them of their own their own position on some of the policies, or some things that they want them to review the policy or bring out new policies on. But don't forget that most of these professional bodies, what they can do at best is just to advise the government. The buck is on the table of the government to take those kind of advice. So what we want to just say right now is that there should be collaboration between amongst the government, business owners, professional bodies, right, in formulating policies. Once that happens, then we'll find out that most of the policies that government will be churning out will be robust, right? And once they're robust, they will talk to the needs of taxpayers. And once that happens, the revenue they want to generate, government will still generate it easily. You understand? But if you are killing businesses, there's no way you are going to get revenue from businesses that are dying. So the best is to nurture them. Once you nurture them, and in nurturing them, you need to first of all water them. What do I mean by water them? They give incentives, but you find out that this incentive that they say they give, it doesn't really get to the people that actually need them. So if this is incentive, the people that need them don't actually benefit directly from them, then it shows that there's no point. So they need to look more into that and do a lot of things better.
You already started, but going forward, especially for the incoming administration, you already started saying what they should do.
Yeah.
But can you explain maybe more things that we expect from the incoming government to nurture these businesses?
Yeah, okay. I tell you, as a tax practitioner and a chartered accountant, a lot of business owners, they focus on who they want to grow their business, they want to bring in more businesses, and you find out that different tax authorities come to them all the time saying they want to carry out tax audit exercise. And when they're carrying this tax audit exercise, it eats into the time that business owners are doing business. So why should it be that it is on an annual basis that they should be carrying out tax audits on businesses? Why can't it be a risk-based audit? Right? You look at the businesses that you have carried out some assessment and some analysis, and on the basis of that, you can now go for audit and put down proper structures, encourage companies and businesses to comply voluntarily. Once they can comply voluntarily, and what will make them to comply voluntarily, there needs to be a lot of infrastructural development. You know, when there is infrastructural development, people will be happy because they will see what the government is doing for them, and that will encourage them to want to pay tax willingly. But when they believe that, what am I even paying these taxes for? I'm not even seeing the benefit of taxes. Why should I waste my time? You know, so that's you see them wanting to evade tax, deploying different tactics to ensure to avoid paying taxes to them.
Make a little profit.
Exactly.
Well, we have to end the show at this particular point in time. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. NECA Voice of Business will be back same time next week for another edition of the show. Thank you so much to my guest, Dr. Yemi Sanni. He is a council member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Thank you once again.
You're very much welcome.
All right, join us next week for another edition of NECA Voice of Business. My name is Olaomi Akon. To have a pleasant day. Thank you so
Good morning and welcome to the news of the main service of Radio Nigeria. I'm Emilia, which you will be reading with.
I'm David Opportunity. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll begin with the headlines. Trump approves the universal implementation of the Employee Compensation Act 2010. Nigeria Army rescues Chibok after 9 years in Boko Haram captivity. University Dawn warns incoming administration to prioritize national population census. FIC seeks care for vulnerable road users as UN Global Road Safety Week kicks off. We're commentaries on the importance of family in the existence of a nation.
A quick reminder that this news is streaming live.